Hello everyone, today for this video we are going to be talking about RWBY characters that haven't been really shown to have semblances or been unlocked yet, and we're going to theorize what their semblances are and the name of their semblance. The first semblance we are going to theorize towards is Arthur Watts' semblance. By seeing on what he's fought between Ironwood in RWBY, you could see he's very adapted towards technology. The name we came up for his semblance was electronic manipulation. This allows him to basically control the technology around him, and by touching it, he can fix any mechanical problems. We made a character just like that, basically it's Drew 10. Basically that's his semblance, but it's a little bit different towards Arthur Watts. By seeing on his fight between Ironwood, he has these electronic kind of like shield barrier kind of thing panels that literally you can probably say that if he actually unlocked his semblance, then that could have been his semblance. He was just controlling his panels basically to fight against Ironwood. I have to say when I first was looking on information towards their semblances and stuff, I did come across a video that did help me on this kind of semblance theorization. I got a little information towards Phoenix Knight's video about it for Arthur Watts. So later I will put his description of his channel down below. And yes, that is basically Arthur Watts' semblance that we have theorized. The next semblance we have theorized is Dr. Oobleck, and the semblance name that we have given him was To the Limit. Well, we believe that his semblance could have been, because his semblance hasn't really been shown. So what we believe that his semblance, if it was shown, we believe that every time he stores up energy, which allows him to go faster and faster by the energy he's stored up. So by looking at what he's seen on RWBY, you can see that he's fast all the time. So what we believe is that he stores his energy, which makes him incredibly fast, one of the fastest characters in RWBY. So that's basically the semblance theory that we have for him. The next semblance theory idea we have is Mercury Black semblance. This one, he's one of the only characters that actually said that in the beginning his actual semblance was stolen by his father. Uh, but to be honest, in my opinion, I feel like his semblance is another family semblance. The only family semblance we really seen was the Schnee's family semblance. I also believe that Summer Roses and Ruby Rose are the same as the family semblance. But for a full family semblance, I believe Taiyun also has had the same semblance. I don't believe Taiyun has anything close to super speed. But I believe that Mercury Black's semblance is the exact same semblance as Marcus Black's, where he can steal other people's semblances and basically only give it back if they really choose. That's basically what Marcus Black did to his own son, to show that he needed to grow stronger to get his semblance back. So I really believe that Mercury's basically theorized semblance is basically the same semblance as Marcus Black's. Uh, oh, the semblance name we did give him was Analyze because of the basically he analyzes the person and that's how their semblance gets stolen. So that's the name we gave him. So in my opinion, Mercury Black semblance I believe is another family semblance where he is able to steal other people's semblances. If it wasn't stolen by his father, of course. Next semblance theorization that we have is Professor Port. Professor Port is supposed to represent Peter and the Wolf. So what I expect that we theorized for his semblance was he basically is able to talk to animals. My opinion. There's another theorization I have for him is where he can grow his muscle mass twice as big as he wants, having his aura connected towards it. And the semblance name we have for the animal speaking part was rumor has it. Interesting, I'm not very special like, but I believe that for him basically representing Peter and the wolf, I feel like him being able to talk to animals makes sense. So that's I probably my first theorization towards Professor Port, but I also have been seeing a lot of muscle mass thing, and I also do agree on that too, because there's a couple times that he says that he wrestles with the Grimm. He's able to like basically has a personality that he likes to wrestle people. And if I believe that it is very true that he could have his aura connected to his semblance, which would, well, that's mostly every semblance, but if he makes him able to increase his muscle mass. But in my opinion, I'm first going to go with the first one where he's able to talk to certain creatures. Next semblance sterilization that we have is Cardin Winchester. Uh, the semblance name that we gave him was Blunt Force because what I believe is every hit that comes towards him, I believe allows him to go into his weapon to increase his damage in his next strike. Because mostly when you see on his strikes, when he plays it down, it's mostly like a very massive, great force kind of thing. It rubber shoots everywhere, and it's like this could be his semblance. So that's the theorization I believe that Cardinal Winchester's semblance actually is. I believe his semblance, every time he gets hit, he can transform that kinetic and energy kind of thing towards his weapon, allowing it to increase its damage on his next strike. Next semblance that we are theorizing is Taiyun. His semblance name that we gave him was Pinpoint, because what I believe that his semblance is, it allows him to see the weakness in his opponents, like fighting stance, all that kind of thing. But we haven't really seen that much of his weapon, or any clue of what his semblance really is. All we have seen so far from Taiyun is mostly hand-to-hand combat. So that's why I believe that his semblance for Pinpoint allows him to basically, if he's ever in a fight, he can probably study his opponent, allowing him to pick the right sort of move to win the fight. That's my theorization towards Taiyun's semblance. Next semblance that we are theorizing is the Malachite sisters. I said it wrong, I deeply apologize. The semblance name that we gave him was Scramble's Surprise, because the semblance that we believe was that they basically are allowed to teleport where the twin sister would be. That's the semblance that I believe basically is. Because if you look at if you ever played the Amity Arena game, RWBY, you could see that they literally teleport towards it. So I was looking towards that and I was like, okay, this is basically could be their semblance. They could teleport the direction the twin sisters both think of. So that's a semblance that theorization that I'm going to put for the Malachite sisters. The next semblance theorization that we have is the White Fang Lieutenant. The semblance name that we have for him is Bad Reception. What I believe was my idea for his semblance was basically he can temporarily blind his opponents, where he can allowing him to basically get that one hit in. His weapon that we've seen so far is the massive chainsaw, so this seemed like a appropriate semblance for him so he can get that chainsaw hit, because it's a chainsaw. It's very hard to hit someone with a chainsaw, especially how quick Rooster Teeth made RWBY fighters. True, he basically did it with Weiss, but Weiss needs not really the best fighter for RWBY. But with this semblance, I believe it fits him perfectly with basically what he has for his weapon. It allows him to kind of get in the big hit. While trying to play defense also. So that's the semblance theorization that I have for the White Fang Lieutenant. Next semblance that we are theorizing is Roman Torchwick semblance. Roman Torchwick semblance actually was supposed to be Fiona's semblance, where the 3D dimensional kind of semblance with dimensional portals. But since it never came to happen, because Roman Torchwick got eaten by Grimm. But imagine if he did unlock it before he got eaten by Grimm. My opinion, the semblance that we gave for him was called Sticky Situation. By his weapons that we mostly seen is he shoots kind of like massive fireballs out of his cannon, like Kane. So that's why I was thinking maybe he can like increase the size of the fireball, allowing it to explode more bigger for the radius. Is my opinion. But there are other ways too. If Fiona's semblance idea was probably the best idea for Torchwick's kind of thing, but since it's already taken now, I think my theorization of his semblance could probably fit the idea of Roman Torchwick, especially the semblance name, Sticky Situations, because he usually uses his cane when he's in a sticky situation to escape. So I think it fits perfectly for his characteristic. Next semblance theorization that we are doing is Junior Jean. I'm pretty sure I said his name right, last name right. If I said it wrong, I deeply apologize again. The semblance name that we gave him was Whistle Pribe, because usually what we seen from him in RWBY was he's kind of the main boss. He's like a thug kind of boss. He orders his minions to do what he wants. So I was thinking maybe like if he unlocked his semblance, maybe that could be his semblance, like motivation, courage, warrior spirit. Like he boosts that with his minions to do basically what he wants, encouraging them to be much like warrior spirit, to like go in there, charge, don't be a coward kind of thing. By him basically whistling, that semblance is activated, which would basically mostly when he whistles for someone, they kind of come. So I was like, okay, maybe that can be a semblance kind of thing, because it fits his personality and who he is in RWBY. The last semblance theorization that we have is Professor Lionheart, and the semblance name that we gave him was Dust Amplifier. I've mostly seen what his weapon he can do with his fighting style with his weapon. It includes like massive amount of dust, so I was thinking like maybe he can amplify the dust, making it increase more and having the damage increase also. So I was thinking maybe that could work for him, because seeing by his fighting style, it will fit perfectly into that when he was fighting Oscar. Unfortunately, we don't get to see him that much anymore because he was killed by Salem's Sneer Grimm, because he ran away like a coward. That's why he's supposed to represent the cowardly lion. So I feel like Dust Amplifier semblance that we made for him fits him perfectly. So that's gonna be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you feel like we missed someone from a semblance that didn't have a semblance that should have a theorized semblance kind of thing, kind of comment it down below. Or if you think you have a better idea of like a character, what their semblance should be, comment that down below too. Check our most popular video on this channel, the top 20 strongest RWBY characters, and check out of course, the 2 videos that are going to be at the end, and Phoenix Knight's channel that will be in the description also. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, push the notification bell for our next video. See you all.